Okay, so good afternoon. Hopefully everyone is staying with us here, having caffeine if you need it. I think there's a lot of people here that we're really looking forward to this part of the day. So we're gonna have our pitch competition. How it went for us at 76 Capital. We called for companies. We had our deadline. Very ironically, we had 76 companies that applied. We had about 15 more that applied after the deadline that unfortunately we couldn't bring them in on this. But we got it down to 6 finalists. You're gonna hear from them today, and we're gonna have 3 winners. Cash prizes total of $10,000, 5 for the winner, $3,000, and then $2,000. And then how we're gonna run this, each pitch company has 4 minutes of presentation and then 4 minutes of Q&A. And we're gonna go through the 6 companies. Our judges are gonna deliberate, and then we'll hand out the big old checks. I'm gonna bring out our judges. Let me make sure we're ready. Ready? So, you wanna go first? All right. So first up, person that helped build the house we're in, Ryan Howard. All right. Our second judge is going to be Ralph Sampson. And then we have Jen Fox from Bryn Mawr Trust. And our last judge is Jeff Kanowski from Arizona State University Global Sport Institute. So, are we all ready to go? I'll call you up. So. All right, we all ready? Yeah. All right. All right, so first pitch is Jason Fox, founder of Earbuds.
Thanks. How's everybody doing? All right, well, it's an honor to be here. Hold on, there we go. Let's see if, there we go. All right, well, it's an honor to be here. My name is Jason Fox, and I'm the founder of Earbuds. So the idea actually for Earbuds actually came in my last career. I was playing in the NFL. It was the first game of the season. I was an offensive lineman with about 3 more chins than I have right now and doing a super boring lineman stretch routine. But Cam Newton was warming up right next to me. He had his headphones on. He was dancing. He was jamming. He was getting into the rhythm for a game. He was getting the crowd into it. And I just couldn't help but notice. I was like, man, there's 85,000 people here. There's millions more watching this game at home, and Cam's an individual with millions of social media followers. How many people would want to be in his head, want to be in his headphones right now? And it was really an idea I just couldn't get out of my head, whether it was watching other sports, whether it was watching NBA, watching the Olympics, watching X Games. And I remember when I was retiring in 2016, watching the Summer Olympics with Michael Phelps. I don't know if you guys remember that moment, but he was preparing the same type of environment right before his race. And I said, man, this would be a perfect Earbuds moment. And the next day, Twitter said that 23 million people tweeted at him specifically asking him what he was listening to in that moment. You fast forward to today, the last 2 Super Bowl media days, it was the #1 question asked on Super Bowl media day. What do you listen to get ready before the game? What do you listen to on your pregame playlist? So we created Earbuds. There's a little lag on this little clicker. So what is Earbuds? It is a social music platform revolved about sharing music in real time. So you can listen along with your favorite music curators, whether they're athletes, whether they're entertainers, whether they're artists, or even just your friends and social network, your coworkers. Or you can share your music live to broadcast that out to the world. And you can tap and save music with just the touch of a button. And there's like a 5-second lag here. So how does it work? So Earbuds is a complete provider and hardware agnostic platform that allows you to share your music. We partnered and integrated with both Spotify and Apple Music. So you just download our app. You can sync your Spotify or Apple Music account or both. And then it preloads all your existing content, and you can search the entire catalogs. And then you can share it. And like I said, we're completely agnostic, so Apple Music listeners can listen along with Spotify and vice versa. To my knowledge, we're the only people that have that technology. So look inside the app. Earbuds is a social network like any other social platform out there. We're built on a follower-following model so you can follow your favorite athletes, your favorite curators, and you can listen along with them and in real time. And once you're listening along, you can chat, you can interact, you can collaborate on playlists, you can save songs back to your platform, and we're just built VoiceOver, which we haven't released yet, so that the host can actually talk and have a more intimate experience. And if you miss the real-time listening along, you can go back and access that past content from their profile. Hey, what was Tom Brady listening to before the game? What was LeBron listening to before the game? You can go back and access that past content. So even with the industry fully leaned into algorithms, research shows that 82% of music is still discovered from your friends and social network. Yet the number one way people currently share music is through texting screenshots. And a distant second is actually sending YouTube links. It's mostly because of that. Your friends might have, a different provider than you. So we're basically removing all walls and all borders to allow music sharing possible. And really the opportunity is huge. There's over 50 million paid subscribers on Spotify and Apple Music alone in the US, and that number is closer to 200 million worldwide. And there's 50% of millennials that are actively looking for new music each month and updating their playlists every month. So earbuds is, we wanted to provide value to every part of the industry, whether it's with the providers, whether it's with the labels, whether it's with the athletes, the sports teams, brands, partners, everyone. And so we can really sit at the center of the ecosystem and just provide value for everyone. The value for sports teams, we're helping connect sport and culture. We are allowing them to grow their brands by showcasing their athletes' music. We can show targeted demographics about their listening history, so that helps with retargeting. And it's actually probably the biggest one that they care the most about is we opened up a whole new category for sponsorships, which we're already in the process of doing. Oh man, don't do that to me. We're done? Oh man.
We got judges' questions.
Immediately right away. All right. So, Jason, how was Earbuds marketing itself, and what's your guys' strategy kind of moving forward?
So right now we're partnering with athletes, entertainers, artists. Honestly, we have some of the biggest names in the games that are investors in our company already. Like we have probably half the NFL quarterbacks on the platform, and Patrick Mahomes, Baker Mayfield, they're investors in it. They're actively promoting it. And then we found a really creative way, and this is what I was going to get to on the very next point, was where labels are now coming to us wanting to debut new music. And I want to push this new content on Tom Brady's pregame playlist, on LeBron's pregame playlist. And then we go to brands too and say, hey, how would you like to be co-branded right here in this moment? And so then we can go to these athletes that they're already sharing their music on other platforms. And now we can get them paid opportunities from labels, from brands to share their music. So, and that's not only is that motivating every part of the industry, but it also helps us scale, and it's another revenue model for us.
So I have a quick question. So when I was on my Spotify playlist, I saw that Barack Obama has his playlist in there, both from 2018 and 2019. Mm-hmm. So how do you distinguish what you're doing from what Spotify may already be able to do?
So that's a very static playlist, right? So he posted that playlist. In ours, you're synchronized down to the 100th of a second, so you're listening along with them. So if you see Barack Obama on TV, or if you see an athlete on TV, or an artist, or whoever it is, you're real-time listening along with them. Another thing how we're different is that's just Spotify users. We're provider agnostic, so whether you're Apple Music or Spotify alike, you can listen together. And then Spotify and Apple Music have zero social features. I mean, they don't allow you to chat. They obviously don't have VoiceOver, which we just built. We can provide a much more intimate listening experience than what they can provide.
So with so much of your business model based on the, I guess the high-profile aspects and the athletes here, how do you keep them accountable to update their playlists, for this purpose? And what does that process look like to actually create and curate that playlist? Who does that?
So, I mean, right now we say we soft launch, but Patrick Mahomes has shared his playlist, before every game this season. And I haven't had to ask him or to remind him. He's actively doing that. We now have athletes coming to us saying, man, this is the coolest thing. I can't say names yet because there's a lot of things that aren't, but I mean, across NBA, Major League Baseball, the PGA, even overseas stars, and even artists as well. I mean, I've been contacted from some of the coolest hip hop artists in the game, like, this is the coolest thing in the world. And then when I can talk to them and show them how to monetize it, is like, look, man, labels will pay you, brands are coming in to sponsor these playlists, and we have probably closer to 15, 20 of those already in line for some of the biggest stars out there. So that's just kind of icing on the cake.
You got about 30 seconds. So competition-wise, and how are you different than your competition, and what's the next steps for what you're doing?
Good question. So there's a few other people that tried to do stuff similar to us, but they've tried to do their own licensing deals, which would be a direct competitor to Spotify or Apple Music, and that requires tens of millions of dollars to, one, to get the rights to stream that music, and two, to be able to launch it. But since we're partnered and integrated with Spotify and Apple Music, I think that's more, they're an ally of us. So I don't really think there's anyone that's approached it in the same space as us, but there's several that have tried to do it on their own. But we have the big dogs backing us, which I feel much better about. All right, thank you.
Thumbs up. All right, so next up, Lauren Fundos, founder of Forte.
Hold on.
And I have it on my phone.
How do I get it up? Oh, there we go. Not yet. There we go. Cool. Perfect. Hi, my name is Lauren Fundos. I'm the founder of Forte. Forte is both a tech company and a live and on-demand fitness subscription streaming service. So think Netflix, but for boutique fitness classes. So these are screenshots of actual classes that are streamed on Forte. As you see, we offer a wide variety of content from bars, spinning, running, dance, from New York, Philly, Miami, and all across the country. And we also distribute our content into 4,000 gyms in 40 countries. So fitness is booming. US fitness industry revenues are $32 billion, with over 42% of that now comprised of boutique fitness classes. Of the 59 million gym goers in the US, 63% of those are saying that they use a digital platform to also work out and stream at home. And by 2022, the global digital fitness market is expected to reach $27 billion. And lastly, the beloved unicorn of the space, Peloton, IPO this month at $8 billion. So the problem we're trying to solve is two-pronged. We're B2B2C. So for studios, they have the content and community, but they're limited by time, location, and lack the technical prowess to even begin building a streaming platform. And for consumers, they want access to a wide variety of content at an affordable price and at their convenience. So the solution is obviously Forte. So for the 153,000 gyms around the world, we've built a proprietary, fully automated hardware and software streaming solution. We spent 2 years developing this technology. This is our true secret sauce. We have developed the only turnkey end-to-end live streaming solution on the market. So with streaming, the studios can make money far beyond the 30 bodies that can physically attend their class. And then most people, they don't have a gas station within 20 miles of their house, let alone access to, the hottest fitness trends and workouts. So for consumers, we developed a subscription streaming platform where they can access thousands of live and on-demand fitness classes anytime, anywhere. So our team is obviously rich with experience. We formerly holding C-suite roles at Kickstarter and the New York Islanders. Our COO, Toby, who is here in the crowd, spent 20 years building, scaling, and selling multiple companies. I spent over a decade working on Wall Street trading bonds, and I was a 2-time All-American field hockey player and went on to play at the University of Maryland. Working out obviously fuels the core of my existence, so we aspire to make our users feel the same way. So here's how it works. Forte partners with top studios around the country. The studios pay us $10,000 then to license our streaming technology. And then from there, we hardwire 3 to 5 cameras in the studio walls. We put a server there on site. When the instructor's about to begin teaching, the automation turns on all 5 cameras in the room, rotates around for that specific class at that time, and shuts itself off at the end of class. So this automation we call our Autobot, live produces classes all day, every day from coast to coast with no human operators. All of our classes are streamed live and then available on demand seconds later. If you reserve a spot for an upcoming live class, the instructor knows you're taking it. They're cheering you on remotely. And then we also have completed the integration of wearables so you could track your progress in real time and complete on our live leaderboards. So our users are using this at home, at the gym, and on the go. This slide isn't coming up, but so our competitive landscape, I like to think more of Forte like Uber and our competition like the Taxi Limousine Commission. We're much more agile. We don't own real estate. We don't have to manage talent. If we see something come up here in Shanghai that's amazing, we can build and ship them hardware and get them streaming to the platform overnight. Trends change quickly in fitness, so we don't have to come up with the next best thing. We're just the arms dealer powering these guys. So our business model is 2-tiered. Our main revenue driver is our subscription service, where we have monthly and annual subscribers. And then our studios, then, as I mentioned, pay us $10,000 to license the tech. From there, we rev share 50-50. And then we pay them out based on minutes watched per month. We also distribute our content into 4,000 gyms in 40 countries, so 24-hour fitness, Anytime Fitness Gold Gym here in the US, as well as residential and hotel building gyms and through corporate wellness programs. So we're scaling massively. We have over 3 million minutes watched to date. Our users are streaming on average 12 classes a month. We have over 12,000 subscribers, 40% of which are paid and the others are free. Our trial to subscriber rates are great, and we've spent zero to acquire customers. Our users are loving the product, and yeah, people are saying that we're making their lives better, and I didn't make anybody's life better on Wall Street, so that's been the most amazing thing of this whole experience.
Have you considered licensing this technology out to other industries?
Yeah, so I only had 4 minutes, but we actually have another revenue model where we're basically doing a SaaS and white label solution to enable people to stream anything. Basically, if you want to stream, you build a TV production studio, which is expensive, but because we know exactly what's going to happen in the classes and the voice of the trainer, we can automate the whole process. So yeah, so we're actually working to license this to big gym brands like that exist around the country so they can stream their classes. Everyone wants to have digital content now, like Peloton, and these brands with 1,000 locations, they should be streaming too.
How do you go about like vetting those different studios, or like you said, you kind of mentioned the big gyms, like who would you look at, what would allow you to go with one over the other? Obviously, if we kind of like a matrix of things that we look at. So locations obviously means more people that know the brand, but if it's oversaturated in every state, then that's also not attractive either. We want it to be in something that people really want to get access to. Obviously, some of the gyms bring a lot of star power to the table, and people care what celebrities or athletes for that matter are doing, and so that's another kind of way that we look at it, and then we kind of just go down from there. Because we have, in our platform, we actually curate it and pick the ones that we think are the best in each category. So maybe 10 in each category that caters to each personality. But because we have over thousands of gyms that have reached out to us, because we're the only guy that what we can do is how we're kind of going into this SaaS people. So now if we don't want them in our Netflix sort of model, we can also provide them the ability to stream it into their own app to their own people as well.
So my wife is a yoga instructor, and sometimes she gets paid per head. Other times it's a flat rate.
Yep.
Can you talk a little bit about the incentive for the instructors and how that works? Are they getting paid per, for an additional audience, or how does that?
Yeah, currently we do the deal with the studio, and then the studio is required to pay the instructor. But what we're finding that's interesting is once an instructor begins teaching to a streaming audience, the 20 people in the room don't become as exciting as the opportunity to be able to impact the whole world, right? With streaming, they can reach far beyond the people that are there. It's important that they obviously compensate the instructors. The CEO of these big businesses are not on Instagram talking to these people, so it's important that they build the relationship with the instructor and compensate them accordingly. And the opportunity to make money is far beyond the brick and mortar, obviously, with streaming. The most downloaded fitness app is a girl from Instagram that has, 0 brick and mortar. So I think those big brands are realizing that they need to adapt.
So I have a different kind of question. So now that you're streaming all these classes that have music,
Yep.
do you run into any of the licensing issues like Peloton did?
Oh, yes.